Now let's take a look at how a federal government or Federal Reserve would respond to the shocks we discussed in the previous video. Okay. First of all, we should specify the policy goals. Okay. So what's the ultimate purpose for the government to do? Okay. And the goal is to reduce the severity of short-run economic fluctuations. In other words, in the previous chapter, when we look at the short-run real GDP versus the long run, the potential one, we find there are a lot of ups and downs, right? But to achieve a smoother economic development, so we would like to see smaller swings, okay, or less volatility of our economic activities. So that's going to be our the goal of our stabilization policy. Okay, as suggested by the title, the goal is to stabilize the macroeconomy. Okay, it's not for the long-term economic growth. Okay, this is something we have to be crystal clear. Okay. The federal government or Federal Reserve, using the monetary and fiscal policies, they cannot achieve the long-term sustainable growth by doing this. Okay. Now, the policy tools, they have, for the fiscal tools, they have the government spending they could control, or the taxes. Okay, they could give, tax breaks. Or they could change the tax code. That's going to be a long-term change, okay? More fundamental change. And on the Federal Reserve side, they can use the monetary policy tools to control money supply, okay? Now, as discussed before, there are at least 3 ways the Federal Reserve can use, okay? They are open market transaction. Okay, they could buy or sell the treasury bonds. So that's the first way. The second way is they can adjust the reserve requirement. Okay, how much money the banks need to hold in their offices. The third way is to change the discount rate. Okay. All right, and we can divide these policies into 2 categories or 2 groups. The first one is the expansionary policies. That means they could increase government spending or cut taxes or increase the monetary the money supply, okay, or any combination among these 3. Again, the goal behind this group of fiscal and monetary policies is to boost the economy. Okay, to be able to produce more. That's why it's called expansionary policy. Okay? We also have contractionary policies. As you may guess, that means we reduce the output level. Okay, so we could achieve that by lowering the government spending, or raising taxes, or decrease the money supply. Okay, or any combination among these policies. Okay. Now, you probably already noticed that no matter what policy we're looking at here, we always focused upon aggregate demand. We're trying to affect market aggregate demand, okay, to stabilize our economy. That's why in Keynesian economics, these policies are called the demand management policies, okay? Because as we said, we always focused upon the possible ways to affect aggregate demand, okay? All right, now let's take a look at several cases here. Let's start with the demand shocks, okay? And what kind of stabilization policy we can use, okay, to once again remove the influence of those shocks. Okay? The first case is the asset prices fall sharply. So in reality, this is probably the most common reason for our economy to step into a recession. Okay, so asset prices could mean stock prices, okay, or housing prices. Okay, so again, back in 2007, 2008, the financial crisis started on the subprime mortgage market. Okay, and after that market crash, the housing price plummet. Okay, and in other recessions in our history, we also see that the stock prices crashed in the first place. Okay. Now, because of the asset price decreases sharply, so that lowers the wealth of households. Okay, because many of them may hold stocks, bonds, and their own houses. Okay, now they all becomes less valuable, so they become less wealthy, and that's why they want to cut their consumption. So the aggregate demand shifts to the left. We're moving from E bar to A on the graph. Okay, so these are what we already discussed before. Now let's think about the government policies. Okay, if we don't want to say the output level decreases from Y bar to YA, or we don't want to see that much decrease, okay, then what the government could do is to use the expansionary policies. Okay, they increase government spending, cut taxes, or increase money supply. Okay, now if they're doing that, they simply push the AD back to the original position. Okay, remember there was a leftover shift because of the decrease in asset prices, right? Now we use the government policies to push it back to AD, okay, the original price. Now what we're going to find here is because of those expansionary policies, then we're going to see the output level goes back to the original level, so from YA to Y bar. Okay, remember that's a long-term potential level, and the overall price level goes up from PA to P bar. Okay, now if we compare this process, we would find that the output and overall price level both return to the original level. Okay, so here it goes back. At the beginning, it moves from the E bar to A. Now it goes back to E bar. Okay, where you find the overall price is P bar and the output level is Y bar. Okay, that's where exactly it started with. Okay, and so you could say that everything looks perfect. Okay, we get the problem fixed. Okay, by using the fiscal and monetary policies. All right, we just go back to where we were. And now the second case, let's look at the confidence of consumers and investors rises too much. Okay, so here again, because they are very confident about the future income or the future economies, so they consume more, they invest more, and that leads to a rightward shift of the aggregate demand curve. Okay, so the economy moves from E bar to A. Okay, and at this point, as we said, the output level is pretty high, higher than the potential. The price level is higher than the original one. Okay, now you could say that, but some people may believe that, well, this is pretty good, right? Because we're producing more than the potential, so the government should keep its hands off the market or the economy. Okay, but remember, as we said before, the Y bar is the the potential level, it's the best level for the long term. We could go beyond Y bar, but we just don't believe that's going to be sustainable. Okay, as we said, it's just like when you drive on the highway. If you drive like 180 miles per hour, for example, okay, then the engine might be overheated. Okay, so we worry about the same thing about the economy. If it's always like this, then it may lead to a market crash later. Okay, so we want to cool it down a little bit. Now, in this case, of course, the government could use the contractionary policy tools. Okay, so they can lower their government spending or increase the taxes or decrease the money supply. Okay. Now, if these policies are effective, we're going to see, the AD prime has been shifted back to the original position. Okay. And so when we look at the output level, we find, it decreases from YA to Y bar, the original level. And the overall price level decreases from PA to P bar as well. Okay. Again, in this case, we find that, the output and the overall price returns to original level. Okay. Now, if we put the first two cases together, you would find that, if the economic fluctuation is caused by a change in aggregate demand, then by using the stabilization policies, we can get the problem fixed in a perfect way. Okay. So we can go back to the original level of output and the price. Okay, don't worry about any side effects here. Okay, and on the next video, we're gonna look at supply shocks. Okay, and we would say, if the stabilization policy would work as well as what we discussed here. If not, then what else we could do or the government should do. Okay, and after that discussion, we would be able to wrap up our discussion of the whole chapter. Okay, on the next video.